evening, Castries South East. Good evening, Castries South East. That is right. Show them how it is done in the best constituency in St. Lucia. Let me hear you give yourselves a round of applause. No offense to any other MP, but you are in the most beautiful part of St. Lucia. My name is Lisa Jawahir. I am the Communications Director for the St. Lucia Labour Party. And tonight we bring you the SLP's Townhall Tuesday, live in the constituency of Castries South East. For those of you who are on Facebook, we're asking you to jump on our page really quickly, the St. Lucia Labour Party. You will catch us live on Facebook. You can share that link with your friends who are unable to be here. You can share that link with those in the north, in the south, the east, and the west. And of course, those out in the diaspora who would love to be here with us this evening, but are unable to do so. Tonight, it is all about you, the people of Castries South East. We will take a different format this evening because we have a lot to talk about. The Labour Party has a lot to share with you, and we want to invite you to have a conversation with us. We are always of the opinion that in order to stay elected, we must stay connected. And that is exactly what the SLP is doing this evening in the constituency of Castries South East. I invite you all to please stand at this moment as we welcome Ms. Veronica Casimir to offer a word of prayer.
Good evening, everybody. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit, amen. Papa, pour Dieu nous venir ici pour assembler un nom Jésus. Pour nous la sagesse, pour nous comprendre, pour nous tout ça ou paix, pour nous ça suivre chimère qui doit être poussée ici. Je vais dire aux frères qui ministères là, qui ces ministères là qui ici. Ici et aussi pour nous boisson pour nous vieux retourner caillou les meetings ça a fini au soir mais après dire that nous guide direct toutes ces gens qui nous beau parole pour dire avec ou caille continuer d'idée pour faire bien by pays aussi pour Premier ministre et tous ces ministères là qui a représenté nous en cette liste moi demander guidance ba yo avec la sagesse, avec la direction pour ça, continuer d'idée pour faire bon travail dans le pays. En nom notre Seigneur Jésus-Christ qui sauve nous. Je vais demander la prière ça au soir. Ainsi soit-il.
Thank you. Please remain standing for the national anthem of St. Lucia. Thank you. You may have your seats. Castries South East. It is so lovely to be here in Castries South East. At this moment, it is an honor and a privilege for me to welcome you yet again into the most beautiful constituency. We want to pay a special acknowledgement to our political leader and Prime Minister, Honorable Phillip J. Pierre. Thank you for joining us. To the first Deputy Political Leader of the SLP, Honorable Dr. Ernest Hilaire, welcome. To our second Deputy Political Leader, Honorable Sean Edward, our neighbor, welcome to Castries South East. To the Chairman of our great party, Honorable Moses Musa Jabatis, coming from the South, welcome to Castries South East. And of course, the Member of Parliament for Castries South East, welcome, comrade, brother, Honorable Joachim Henry. We want to say a special good evening to the members of Parliament who are joining us this evening. I see many constituencies are present, and of course I know we're going to have a packed show tonight. To our senators, our Speaker of the House of Assembly, our legal officer, Honorable Leslie Mondesi, thank you so much for joining us. To the Castries Constituency Council, our management branch, welcome to you. To the SLPYO and the SLPWO, welcome, welcome, welcome. People of Castries South East, again, it is an honor and a privilege to welcome you this evening. We are going to jump straight into things. We want to give you an opportunity, as I mentioned earlier, to connect with your MPs. If you look beyond, some of us who, well, some who might be a bit shorter in the back, if you look to the front, you will see the place is packed with support, packed with members of cabinet. And when we open for the question and answer segment, we want you to take the mic. The DJ will place the mic in the center in a moment, and we want you to ask your questions. You can pose your questions, any questions. It might be relevant to your constituency, it might be relevant to tourism, sports, education, etc. You will have an opportunity to speak to your members of Parliament this evening. Without further ado, we want to welcome the presence of our parliamentary representative, Honorable Joachim Henry, to the mic.
It is with great pride that we highlight the remarkable work and achievements of Honorable Joachim Henry. It is with great pride that we highlight the remarkable work and achievements of Honorable Joachim Henry, Parliamentary Representative for Castries South East. As a dedicated leader and visionary, Honorable Henry has remained steadfast in his commitment to improving the lives of the people within our constituency. Through initiatives and unwavering determination, he has tackled long-standing community challenges and ushered in a new era of development. His leadership has not only transformed infrastructure, but has also empowered residents through social programs and economic opportunities. Let us take a look at the progress and initiatives that has shaped the past year in Castries South East. Cul-de-sac sewage project. For many years, the cul-de-sac community endured the unbearable stench from the sewer system. Honorable Joachim Henry has taken decisive action, laying most of the necessary piping, with the final stage connecting to the newly constructed community center. This long overdue project will significantly improve sanitation and enhance the quality of lives for the residents of cul-de-sac. The Cul-de-sac Community Centre. The aging community centre, once gifted by the Gist family, had become dilapidated and no longer met the needs of the people. Today, through the tireless efforts of Honorable Joachim Henry, a brand new, modern facility is 50% complete. Soon, it will serve as a hub for social, educational, and cultural activities for the people of cul-de-sac. Badani Centre land ownership and renovation. For over 50 years, the Badani community has occupied land for its centre without legal ownership. Honourable Henry is now finalizing the transfer process, ensuring the community secures its rightful place and can continue to benefit from this vital space. The Bel Air Community Centre and Preschool Development. Recognizing the importance of early childhood education, Honourable Henry has championed the long-awaited preschool in Bel Air. Now, 85% complete, this centre will provide a nurturing space for young learners, fulfilling a promise made decades ago. Signature project, bus stop with business potential. A signature project under Honourable Henry's leadership is the innovative bus stop with business potential, featuring a hair salon, barber shop, and restroom facilities. This initiative is not just about convenience, it's about economic empowerment. This model could soon be replicated in many other communities. Labey Early Childhood Development Centre. Education remains a priority, and Honourable Henry has ensured the refurbishment and expansion of the Labey Early Childhood Development Centre. Nearing completion, this improved facility will provide a comfortable and stimulating learning environment for our young residents. Wavin Poisson Business Cottage. Responding to the needs of the community, Honourable Henry has spearheaded the construction of a business cottage in Wavin Poisson, replacing an abandoned music studio project. This space will provide opportunities for local entrepreneurs and contribute to economic growth. Road infrastructure improvements. Under Honourable Henry's leadership, numerous roads have been upgraded, including key access routes in Cronglands, Bexar, Forestier, Twapiton Road, St. Lucy's Avenue, and Mark. Additionally, the Mont-Belay Road has been significantly improved, enhancing mobility and transport services. Burial assistance, small business, and educational support. Honourable Henry understands that development extends beyond infrastructure. Over the past years, his initiatives has provided over 54 grieving families have benefited from burial assistance. 180 persons have benefited from housing assistance. 40 persons receive income support. 112 persons benefited from medical assistance. Over 142 families benefited from educational assistance, ensuring every child has access to quality education. 42 small business owners were given support, and over 202 in sponsorships for community clubs and associations. Mont-Belay Bus Service. Previously underserved, Mont-Belay now benefits from a dedicated bus service, making communication and transportation easier for the residents of Mont-Belay. This initiative, championed by our Honourable Henry, has greatly improved daily life in the community. Honourable Joachim Henry's commitment to Castries South East is evident in the tangible progress made over the past years, from improved infrastructure and educational development to economic empowerment and social support. His leadership continues to shape a brighter future for us all. As we move forward, let us stand together in support of these transformative efforts, ensuring that no one is left behind. Thank you for being part of this journey together towards a stronger, more vibrant constituency for the people of Castries South East.
Thank you very much, Castries South East. Good evening, everyone. Wow, I'm so thankful so many of you are here. Of course, that video may have placed me in a little bit of problems because I really wanted to share that with you. I've been hiding it for so many months because I want more. And if the Prime Minister recognized so much, well, I don't know what will happen on Monday. I don't think I'll be able to say CDP anymore. Yes, but we have to continue. It's all about you, Castries South East. It's all about the people that have been placed in our care. It's all about the Labour Party and putting people first. It's always about you. But I must thank the Prime Minister. The Minister of Finance made it possible for you. You know, so many times you hear the term putting people first. And sometimes the people on the other side, some UWPs, are angry when we say we put you first. Because they know when we put you first, you will also put us first. And the time is coming when you will put us first. So, this evening, I just want to share with you the perspective from the Ministry of Equity, Social Justice and Empowerment. After listening and viewing these videos, I ought not to say anything more, but of course, you would have questions to ask. But the ministry's output is important. And this evening, I want you to listen carefully and understand what the Ministry of Equity is doing. Very often, in fact, most of the times, I hear persons speaking about les pauvres. And people want to be on public assistance. The Ministry of Equity has received quite a bit of resources from the Prime Minister to support the public assistance program. Of course, we have used over 10 million every year. And in the first year, the Prime Minister gave us 20 million. So for 3.5 years, this government, the Minister of Finance, Phillip Pierre, has provided over 50 million towards poor people in this country. 50 million. 3.5 years, the Prime Minister has invested that amount in what you call les pauvres. Persons receiving $400, some persons receiving $250. But tonight I want you to understand that public assistance is not for everyone. And sometimes it pains me when I hear persons ask to be placed on public assistance. Public assistance are for persons who are in critical need of that support. So sometimes you qualify as a poor person, but you're not qualified to receive public assistance because there's somebody worse than you. That's important to understand. Avec des lèm when il pou di, les moun vini when il pou di yo, mais oui moi savent ou pauvre, mais oui moi savent ou ni a trois cas, mais oui moi savent bagay wè de pou, mais la han les pauvres là, ou pas qualif, ou pas sa han ni parce que là ni moun qui plus mauvais avec une situation plus mauvais passo. And it's important we understand that. So I give examples to persons saying that you may have been out of a job, you are unemployed, you cannot pay your bills, you owe courts, and you come to the Ministry of Equity. That does not qualify you to be on public assistance. Because unemployed as you may be, you may find a job, but there's somebody who is a double amputee with a family on dialysis, with young children. That person may qualify more than you. To date, I can tell you that we have what we consider to be a feedback redress mechanism launched under this government. So when you apply for public assistance and you do not get it, there is a platform, there is a mechanism for you to go and speak to a committee and say, I applied for public assistance and I didn't get it. I think my situation deserves a second look. And that independent committee will assess you again. The feedback redress mechanism is a level of transparency and accountability that persons do not say that the ministry did not approve them. Because those who are administering the public assistance program cannot be those with the final say as to who should be on it. This government has empowered people to do so because we put you first. Our safety net programs, remember the COVID support. Over 5,000 persons received $1,500 because they did not receive any support under the previous arrangement. This Prime Minister made the funds available to the Ministry of Equity. Community development for 2024-2025, 2023-2024, for the past 3 years, a total of over $16 million was invested in community development. We received an additional approximately $10 million on human services. Why would the government invest under the human services support? There are persons who endure abuse. Lani le en madame vin office la, sel sa ite sa koui epi se had la inyan lei. And we have to house them, we have to protect them. So we have almost 16 homes being rented. And we have families placed in those homes at the advice of the court, and we have to pay for it. We are putting our people first. These things I cannot show on the screen. And there are many things that this government is doing that cannot be placed on a video. You cannot share it. I cannot share the many persons who are receiving support as HIV persons that this government has made provision for over all the years that we're there. I cannot share with you the children who are critically disabled, who are receiving support every month and are receiving care and visitation from the Ministry of Equity. I cannot share it in videos. My brothers and sisters, we do this thing not because we are instructed to do so. We do this thing not because the problem exists. We do these things because we care. We are a caring government. And when the time comes, you must never forget the word caring. Parce que mouna sa gade bel mouna sa nyon shayla han, mouna sa ni tout kalte soute e ka pale accent si I pa mele e pou I pa kay fan an yen ba ou. It's important. And this upcoming election is about caring. Of course, so many times when sitting in cabinet and the Prime Minister comes up with ideas demonstrating his love for St. Lucians, when he came up with the bonus, first time ever, that did not come from cabinet ministers, that came from the Prime Minister. Nobody prompted him to say that. He did it. Christmas time coming, school opening, this Prime Minister is thinking of you. The stimulus exercise, short-term employment program, and all of the cleaning you see taking place around St. Lucia, a lot of funds are being made available. Over $5 million in one stint. So you see people working around, cleaning around the streets. $5 million, one-step cycle. So that persons can get a little bit of monies to do something. It is out of caring these initiatives are actually being developed and conceptualized. It is not only for us to clean the road. It is more important that you participate in employment, in gainful employment to the Prime Minister than even the road being cleaned. We are concerned about we cleaning our communities, but the Prime Minister is even more concerned about you receiving some funds so that you could take care of your family, you could take care of yourself in difficult times. So when the question is asked, what are we doing because of inflation? By the member for Mikud South, for probably for Mystic Lab. Yes, Mikud, say Mikud Lab. Jeremiah do not want me to get it wrong. But this person who was the former Prime Minister, when he speaks about what this government is doing because of the increased cost of goods, short-term employment program, stimulus, almost for the year we spent $15 million in it. Who received it? The ordinary people of St. Lucia, not large contractors. You and you and you, so many of you participated in it. And I'm so happy that the funds were made available through the St. Lucia Social Development Fund. More money for the ministry. Prime Minister, I'm only representing what you give me here tonight. Also, you know, we have a trouble issue with our boys. Our boys these days are given trouble. And of course, as I speak here, I must remember Kafia, some of our boys. Kafia, who has not buried her son yet. Christine from Crownlands. Also Miss Philomene from Chopin. And as well as, of course, Petra in Lacwa, who has already buried her son, who was a strong follower and supporter of activities in Castries South East whenever we had our campaign. But those 4 young boys are now at rest and their parents are grieving. It has been said, what is the government doing about crime? What are we doing? Well, apart from the Prime Minister, and I'm not here to speak about support to the police, and of course you've heard and have seen so much equipment being given to the police officer, at the Ministry of Equity, our Boys Matter program is geared towards targeting young men who are showing early signs of starting to give trouble so we could direct them to a path that we can save them. This Prime Minister has made the funds available. So we are not there just talking about those persons who say, let's talk about Sayo Cafe. We are doing something. And we have some success. That is why sometimes I always ask for a little more. Would the Prime Minister, you know, the Minister of Finance, you know, if you want to hear troops, you know, sometimes, because I really sometimes troubling him because I want more. I want to bring the curtains end on what we have done and basically open up for you to ask your questions. But I want to leave with you a few things to consider. It's important that you remember always the role of the Ministry of Equity, the ministry that I'm responsible for, social justice and empowerment. We have an aspiration at this ministry to ensure that our society becomes more equal. So we understand that our society is unequal. And the Prime Minister is the one who named and conceptualized the Ministry of Equity, Social Justice and Empowerment. For this reason, we are going to have a new country poverty survey. Currently, it shows that almost half of the wealth of the country is skewed towards, a few persons at the top. And all effort being made in our normal system of allocating resources, that continue to happen. So you would see that your children, your grandmother was poor, you are surviving, but with economic shocks in your life, like a heart attack or a stroke in your family, if you are not prepared for it, you suffer and you lose the achievement that you've made. Being able to grow wealth in your family is an important thing. We at the ministry, we will put away the word poverty, and start talking about wealth creation. Because we believe even if you are below the poverty line, you can contribute to wealth creation. A lot of us believe that in our minds that we cannot do better. It's in our mind. Even if it's a wheelbarrow you leave before you take your last breath, somebody can use it to move forward. So instead of thinking as to how poor you are, you need to start thinking as to how you can contribute to the next generation through wealth creation. This Prime Minister has announced that he's going to establish what we consider a sovereign wealth fund. I heard, as soon as he said that, I listened to, what's his name in America, the new president. Trump said he's going to have a sovereign wealth fund as well. So I said it's either Wayne Girard talking to Trump or Trump listening to what we're saying. But the Prime Minister said that before Trump announced it, long before. But what's important, the Prime Minister is sending a message to each one of us and each one of you that wealth creation is the business for every one of us, because we cannot consume everything that we can produce. It doesn't matter how poor we are. There's always something to leave behind. Always something to leave behind. And tonight, I want you to think of that. Because as the work of the Ministry of Equity move forward, as we do our next country poverty survey, as we stop using the words graduation, but we talk about transformation, you in your family must take responsibility and contribute to what the next generation, your generation, will be like. And you can make a contribution. The Prime Minister continue to invest directly in you. You do not have to wait for crumbs to fall through the table of the economic process to get something. Public assistance, every effort by the Prime Minister is that he invests directly in vulnerable populations. Some people don't like that. I've heard somebody said on one of the radio programs, how will he sustain it? Qui manière Phillip a continué by tout ça qu'il bail là. Depuis l'année au bon Dieu. Depuis l'année au bon Dieu. If there's a will, there must be a way. Nous can continue. We will continue to put you first. We'll continue to provide for you. And this Prime Minister will maintain the posture, the trajectory that we want to invest in ordinary solutions that you realize in your family, as small as it is, wealth creation, so that the next generation, your next generation, comes out far much better than all of us here today. May God bless you. May God keep us as we continue to move forward. Long live the Labour Party. Long live our political leader. Long live Phillip J. Pierre.
Thank you. Put your hands together for MP for Castries South East, Honorable Joachim Henry. At this moment, we invite the political leader of the St. Lucia Labour Party, the Prime Minister of St. Lucia, who is here live in person in Castries South East, to the podium. Let's give him a Castries South East warm welcome.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Comrades, good night. Comrades, good night. And I call you comrades because you are my comrades. And anyone who doesn't want me to call you comrade, they can put it in the pipe and thank you, comrades. When I heard the member for Southeast Castries outline the achievements of Castries Southeast, I looked at my colleagues and I thought to myself, mouth open, secret drop out. So right now, I know what I know, and I know who gets what, and I know in whose ministry things go, and I know what I must do. But that's between me and me alone. My sisters and my brothers, I heard the opposition complain that I was always laughing and I was always happy. You want to believe these guys are so obsessed that they are worried because I'm always smiling. I'll tell you why I'm smiling. I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why. First of all, I'm smiling because I love you. Secondly, I'm smiling because I have a group of men and women who work with me for the benefit of the people of St. Lucia. And I'm smiling because I have made 3,500 people who were getting less than $500 a month in pension. I'm smiling because I gave them more. And I'm smiling because I will increase that pension come July this year. That is why I'm smiling. That's why I'm smiling. I am smiling because I've increased the numbers of police by 79, and before the end of this year, I will increase it by 160. That's why I'm smiling. I am smiling because if you go to grocery now, you will see that the government is spending nearly $50 million on brand new headquarters for the police. I am smiling because I have agreed to give every policeman in this country in the next 6 months a bulletproof vest. That is why I'm smiling. I am smiling because I paid civil servants the back pay that they could not pay them. And I'm also smiling because on the February 20th this year, God save our life, I will pay civil servants $32 million. That is why I'm smiling. I am smiling because I have no bitterness in my heart. I am smiling because I have no anger. I am smiling because I have no envy. I am smiling because I want to take revenge on no one. I am smiling because I love St. Lucia. And I will continue to smile. And you know when I'll smile more? When I win all 17 seats. So, let them continue and plot with all sorts of people against the people of St. Lucia. Let them continue to plot. You mean to tell me something like tourism that is so important? There is an industrial dispute on the airport, and the United Workers' Party are rejoicing? Something that has nothing to do with us. The people who are working on the airport have nothing to do with the government. It's a private sector body that had a dispute with the union. Nothing to do with the government, but the United Workers' Party are rejoicing. They are rejoicing because they wanted to destroy the CIP, because the CIP can bring something for the people of St. Lucia. They are rejoicing. They are rejoicing because some misguided young men, badly influenced, and influenced by their call for anger, influenced by their call of hatred, because some angry young men, because of their call, helped by their call, unfortunately get involved in gun violence. They are happy. But you know what? I'm smiling because I will never tell you, you just start to cry. I will never tell you that. I will never tell you just start to cry. So I am happy with myself. Because every day when I go to work with you, the people of St. Lucia, in my mind. I go to work because I know the men and women that I work with have you on their mind. And I go to work because every morning in cabinet, we do not sit down and plan how to destroy people. We don't sit down and plan how to make people cry. We don't sit down and plan what to do to keep people because it does support them. We sit in cabinet and we speak about you. And that is why it's important that you secure the victory. And I want you to say after me, secure the victory. One more time, secure the victory. So we don't protect, we secure him. So right now, the slogan is secure the victory. So my sisters and my brothers, tonight I will not be long. But I want to call Jeremiah to explain to you. You hear Sparrow had a thing say, you hear lie? That is lie. I want to call the youngest candidate of the Labour Party. A man who is a pillar of courage. A man who the United Workers' Party ridiculed because he had an accident. I want to call him for 5 minutes to explain to you what really happened. And you will hear what is meant by you hear lie. That is lie. And anytime you hear these guys on a platform, I want you to say, you hear lie? That is lie. Jeremiah will tell you the truth. 5 minutes for Jeremiah to explain to you what you heard on Newspin that is not true. Jeremiah.
Good night, Castries South East. Good night, brothers and sisters of Labour. Prime Minister, thank you. Only Sunday, and I will try to take just 5 minutes. Only Sunday. And Prime Minister say, you see lies? You hear lies. On Sunday, the UWP had a meeting in the south of the island. And whilst at the meeting, they decided, just like they've done before with the whole skinny scenario, let us bring Jeremiah into the spotlight. And you know what they said? When I had my accident, I was brought to the St. Jude's Hospital. Those of you who remember the sequence of events, you remember. I was brought to the St. Jude's Hospital, then transferred to Tapion, then I flew to Martinique, and then I came back here. And they would choose because a gentleman, a strong Labour Party supporter, James, may his soul rest in peace. Strong Labour Party supporter. Up to now, he has a sticker of Jeremiah on his vehicle. He had an unfortunate accident. He was sent home and he passed away. And you know what they decided to do? Let us play politics with it again. That is the UWP. And that is what the so-called candidates of the UWP, that is what they are doing. Mem bet, mem quel, you tout mem commet you. And what they did, brought James into the picture. A man who has passed, no empathy for the family, and played all sorts of political football with the scenario. And then compare his situation and said that when Jeremiah had his accident, that the Honorable Phillip J. Pierre, Phillip J. Pierre, Chasnedi Vini Madei, he came to him to ask him to help Jeremiah Norbert. You realize? He said, Phillip J. Pierre, and he said, if I can quote, I remember distinctly having conversations with the then leader of opposition about getting assistance for Jeremiah. And we did everything within our power to ensure that Jeremiah went to Martinique. You realize? I will tell your brothers and sisters, on that bed in Tapion, I remember Phillip J. Pierre, Ernest Hilaire, and the other, Sean Edward, and the other members of the St. Lucia Labour Party. They rallied around me. They ensured through private means and other means that I was sent to Martinique. At no time did anybody from the WP come and give me any kind of assistance to go to Martinique. But they were going to play politics and say that they were the one responsible for sending me to Martinique. You realize? Said I spent 2 months in Martinique, and whilst I was there, to make it seem like they were the one responsible for me. Not once. Not once. And I can say here, as God is my witness, that anybody from the United Workers' Party called me to ask me, how you doing? Because you have South Sakavinile. They knew what was going to happen when I returned. So they used the scenario to say that we did not do enough for the gentleman. They say we did not do enough for the gentleman whose accident was just weeks before. And just before I go, I'll tell you, I'm not the Minister of Health, and the Minister of Health at the last town hall meeting, he told you the things that were happening. But you know what we do here? When we help people, we don't try to indignify them. So the number of people from Miku North who have received medical assistance from this government, those who have gotten $50,000 and $60,000 worth of help, those who have gotten $140,000 individually worth of help. But we're not going to come here and say who they are. That is not who we are as a St. Lucia Labour Party. That is not the type of people that we are. We believe in ensuring that respect and dignity is maintained. And that is who Phillip J. Pierre is. And every man and woman who decides to follow Phillip J. Pierre have no choice but to follow the philosophy of Phillip J. Pierre. We help people because we are called to help people, not because we want someone to take a picture of us helping people. So with that, brothers and sisters, I say, Prime Minister, thank you for all you have done. Thank you for what you continue to do. And thank you to you, the men and women of the St. Lucia Labour Party. I will look forward to serving you for many, many, many more years. Thank you very much.
That is the voice of a genuine voice. But it was important because, you know, a lot of things have been said over the last 2.5 years, and we let it pass. Because we are busy seeing about the work of the people of St. Lucia. Just one more thing on that St. Jude. Before it was, they never finished St. Jude, they never finished St. Jude, never. Now, St. Jude will finish. So, we've changed the tune. I want to ask one question. One. Just one. And the Minister of Health is here. So any question you ask on health or St. Jude, you can ask the Minister of Health. Ask him about our plans for UHC, what we found, what we did, not what we would have do. What we did, and we will tell you. I tell you what. Ask the United Workers' Party, where would the kitchen in the box be? I will give you, I get no back pay, but I have $100. I will give any $100 if you can get them to answer the question, where would the kitchen in the box be? You know, because these guys, they come serious face, pretending as if they were never in government. They are a set of saints that come from heaven. But you know, and I'll tell you something, the viciousness and the nastiness will increase over time. I warn you, it will get worse. It will get worse. The United Workers' Party and St. Jude. Today I got a report written in 2021. You know what the report said? That there was a cabinet conclusion that determined that they would use the ground floor of the hospital. Listen carefully, you know, one of these days, we will have a debate in Parliament about St. Jude. We'll have a debate. We will find out who spent what, where, how. The cabinet conclusion says that they would use the ground floor of St. Jude, they would occupy the ground floor, and they will continue work on the top floor. How can you work on the ground floor in the hospital and work on the top floor? How is that possible? But that's the bluff. Then you hear another story. The other story is the ground floor would be for St. Lucians and the top floor would have an international hospital. So you have people on the ground floor and the top is a hotel. So tell me, where would the kitchen be? So my brothers and sisters, any question you have to ask the Minister of Health, come up, take the mic, and ask him. Any question you have. Because, have a question, bro? Because these, and you know, while the government continues to work, and you know what will happen to them? The Larry Sus in Larry Sus, by the end of this month, the Friday, the last Friday of February, we're going to open the brand new Larry Sus Health Center. And next Friday, we are going to Grosile to turn the sword on the expansion of the Grosile now the Martin Didier Polyclinic in Gozile on Friday. And you know what's happening, man? You know what's happening, hell? Yesterday, we got $400,000 US to begin building the fifth wing on the OKU hospital. That happened yesterday. And as soon as the board is ready, we will go to OKEU on a Friday to turn the sword. That's what's happening here. And any question you want to ask the minister is there to answer you. You understand? That's what's happening here. And remember, this government understands. Right now, the US are in the business of tariffs. And what will affect us more than our food prices? Remember when I told you that we must begin to grow what we eat. And to eat what we grow. And cassava was a health food that could help us and also help us in our non-communicable diseases. Yo, we went. They had a little child. Phillip, they want to eat. Will? Phillip, want us to eat fig and oil. For them, that was good politics. You see now, some of the same hypocrites writing, St. Lucia must try to export their own food. Hypocrites. Any questions for the minister? But you're moving on. When you're ready, come and ask the minister what you want about health. Because he's there, one of the hardest working ministers in the government. So they're all over the place, from one to the other. I heard one say today, they are lying on the tourism figures. The United Workers' Party can never give you one figure. Only what they say is statements. The Prime Minister said this, play the tape that the Prime Minister said it. Play it. Pay the tape. Not AI, pay the tape. They can't give you one, just statements. Not we. The police reported that there was a decrease in murders this month. Instead of the whole country saying, boy, that's a good track to take. Instead of the whole country saying, let the police continue and let's keep it up. Because we had 8, this time we have 3 or 5 and 8, I can't remember whatever. 3 and 5 or something. Instead of they say that, you know what they say? Oh, there were more murders. And we know that will not continue. You think people who want to run this country can rejoice when there are murders in the country? And they gave me a plan, and I say I put the plan in the dustbin. Tell me when I said that. Play when I said it. I can play what you said. I can play what you say all the time. I can play when you said shut up. I can play when you said let the jackasses bray. I can play when you said that comrades are pigs and dogs. I can play. I can play. Play what I say. Play. Talking nonsense. My brothers and my sisters. So the Minister of Tourism is there. The Deputy Prime Minister is there. You can ask him about tourism. Ask him about tourism. You know, I heard a guy say, serious face. Looking straight ahead. the planes are coming in empty. You mean to tell me a man can go on TV where the whole world can see him and say planes are coming at Ivanora empty? But you know, it's an obsession. Sagouin pouvoir. Gopoel pouvoir. It's an obsession. An obsession with power. Because God died and left St. Lucia for them. And who are these? Who are these? Who are these? I wouldn't say what? Men and women to run this country as successful as we are running it. They can't take it. They can't take it. So they have to lie. They have to join with all kinds of people against us. Right now, we are building 4 new hotels in St. Lucia as we speak. There's been a shortage of cement, so much so that cement has to be imported by a developer. But you talk about the hotels are doing badly. The hotels have been doing badly. Close yours up. Close yours. Close yours. So you have a hotel open that's doing badly. And my brothers and sisters, they just start to come after me, you know. They just start. But once I have you with me, we will continue to secure the victory. So my sisters and my brothers, I want you to ask the ministers questions. You have all of them there. The Minister for Sports is going to announce very shortly improvements on about 12 playing fields in St. Lucia. And I want to tell the people of South East Castries, I say, we are going to doing work on these playing fields and these facilities for young people of this country. He will announce it shortly. He'll announce it shortly. And he'll also announce that we are having a professional cricket league for the young people of St. Lucia. That is what they cannot take. These are the things they cannot take. So they will lie openly. They will lie without a conscience. The economy of this country is doing badly. Next week, 25th of March, I'm going to... Next month, I'm talking about the minister is reminding me about the back pay I'll pay on the 20th of February. The back pay I'll pay, $32 million of public servants, $32 million. So we'll have a great independence. On the 20th, I can tell civil servants they can go in the bank on the night of the 19th. And tell them to beat that. Beat that. Tell me when you did better than that. Because I paid the back pay that you owed civil servants. The back pay you owed policemen, I paid it. But you have no back pay to pay for me. I paid my own back pay. 20th of February, $32 million in the system. Deal with that. 25th of March, Estimates Day, you will hear that this economy, and today I met some people from the IMF. They were here dealing with the entire region. And they said to me, and Wayne was there, that St. Lucia is an exception. These are the figures we have. Lowest unemployment in the history of St. Lucia. Beat that. Beat that. Beat it. Every indicator in that economy is doing well. Housing up. Deposits in the bank up. Unemployment down. Skilled education and skilled labor up. We have a shortage. We'll probably have a shortage of skilled labor in this country. And that is an economy. You say that's doing badly? That's an economy? Talk about inflation. Inflation. Of course, we are concerned about inflation. Of course. But I want you. You have a question, sister? Come and ask a question. I want you, and I want you to do more like the sister. Come and ask the questions. Because you are all the ministers there to answer the questions to you. I see the Minister of Agriculture has arrived. I want to tell the farmers of this country that a Friday coming soon. Listen carefully. Listen, 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 listen. Listen, listen, listen. Shh. A Friday coming soon. He is going to announce relief for the banana farmers of St. Lucia. Go ahead, my sister.
My question is for the Minister for Health. I keep on hearing people talking about medication and whatever, the health centers. Are we the only country in the whole world that when we go to a health center that we don't get medication? That's just what I want to know.
Good evening, my brothers and sisters. Thank you very much, Sister Nadia from Cooley Town. Your rep told me your name. Good night, everyone. Good night to you. Good night to everyone who has joined us online, Viewfort North people, and good night to everyone. To answer the sister's question, no, we are not the only country, especially after the COVID-19 pandemic. Many countries have had problems with the importation of pharmaceuticals, supplies, not only for the health sector, but for many different sectors. Our situation in St. Lucia, when we came into government, we found a situation where the last government had endless debts owing many suppliers all over the world. When we came into government, we had to deal with the COVID-19 pandemic, and we caused there to be relief to those people whom we owed, and that effort continues today. I just want to tell you quickly that when we came into government, we found programs which supplied about 2,100 St. Lucians with regular medication for free at the health centers, at the hospitals, and so on. When we came into government, we continued with some of the World Bank programs. We intensified the programs of the PBF, and we introduced our own programs under universal health coverage. And I can tell you today, based on the information that we have at the ministry, based on the information from the programs of the PBF and all our other programs, we are supplying approximately 25,000 St. Lucians with medication without cost. That is a vast difference. That is a vast difference to what the United Workers' Party had. So there is a lot I can tell you about medication and about the health sector, but I'll wait for the questions. But just to tell you, when the UWP speak about health and what we are doing, we just have to ask them, what did you do? What did you do? They say we're giving 80-year-olds free medication, and they say the people are too old. So you need to ask them, what did you give the 80-year-olds? So that is it. So yes, all countries had problems, but we can demonstrate how we have change the situation and that more St. Lucians are getting benefits, even though we still have challenges. Thank you.
Questions for the ministers, other than that? You have the Minister of Agriculture, the ministers there. We have the Minister of Housing is there. Talking about housing. I forgot. You see, somebody took a video. Now, you know, I have represented the people of Castries East 6 times. 6 times. I have won 6 elections. Every election, I have the same enemies. Every election, I have the same enemies. I'm not calling nobody name. That's what they want me to do, call their name, Pamwe. Not me, you can't catch me in that. So one of them take a video, and he gone to Rockall and take a picture. Look at what Pierre do. Pierre spent $100 million. We are a law-abiding government. So we do nothing without planning approval. We need to have planning approval before we do anything, even though we can go to cabinet and do it. But we don't behave like that. We don't behave like that. So, the Rockall housing program has begun, but it was stopped because we need to get all the approvals for planning. So instead of these guys say to us, hurry up and do it, because the people need housing. The people need housing, hurry up and do it. You know what? They rejoice in, they have video, look at what Pierre doing, look at what Pierre doing. But, as usual, their aspirations and their hope for the downfall of St. Lucian people and the downfall of the people of Castries East in particular will not happen. Because as soon as we get all the approvals, the Rockall housing project will continue. And I have news for them, that there we will begin a housing project in Talvan under the NHC. And I will tell them further, in the budget. Why am I saying the secrets of the budget? Why am I saying that? Not paletop. You see, when I hear what Joachim do in his constituency, what they do not know is that in this budget, we are going to make some pronouncements about housing. We make some pronouncements. So, already there's a shortage of building materials. Already you can't get cement. Already you can't get skilled labor. And we are come yet. What you laughing at? So you can imagine when we come? Questions? Questions for the comrades? Cost of living. You have a question, Bill? All right.
Yeah, good evening, everyone. My question is to the Minister of Youth and Sports and also the representative for Southeast Castries. I represent the club Obla Fusion Youth and Sports Club, which is a club with members from Odsan, and Lapua. We came together and we formed this organization, which was established sometime in 2001, which came out of two organizations, Golden Stars and another organization named Aquarium. My question is, how possible, as we talk about crime and all of that, so far tonight I've not heard much said about the kids, the 12-year-olds and the 5-year-olds. I am also the president of my club and the coach of the football team. I think, or rather, how possible it is to get equipments available for all the clubs, because the clubs around the island are suffering badly when it comes to equipments. For example, especially football boots, which is very expensive, and the parents cannot afford football boots. I have at least 20 young kids between the age of 12 and 5-year-olds, and the majority of them cannot afford football boots. If in case the parents have to get a football boots or a school shoe, they would rather buy the school shoe for them. Now, I would rather consider that we look after those kids when it comes to equipment. Okay? And it's very serious because those kids are the ones growing up to become the criminals. I don't want to say it, but they are the ones growing up to become the criminals, not the elder ones. As you can see, most of the crime is happening the 20-year-olds. Most of the people dying are the 20-year-olds. So my question is, how can you get equipments, make equipments available for the clubs? Because there are some clubs that are fortunate, or some communities that are fortunate, the parents could buy those equipments for them. But my club especially is suffering when it comes to that. Okay?
Good night, Odsan. Good night, Odsan. Good night, Castries South East. Very good question. There are a couple of things that I have to say very early. It was this St. Lucia Labour Party who took the bold step of removing VAT on sporting equipment in this country. And there was a reason this Minister of Finance saw the wisdom in doing it. And this is something that was never done before. We saw again with the fact that we do not produce football boots in St. Lucia, the rise in prices all over the world has caused the price of football boots and footballs and gear to be produced highly overseas. There is no way a supplier would bring down that price to make any profit. And so we remove the VAT on equipment. The fact of the matter is, the St. Lucia National Lotteries, along with the St. Lucia Football Association, they would welcome any registered organization such as Obla Fusion, any proposal that provides the costs for their programs, for the gear and equipment. The National Lotteries is there to sit down, look at the cost, look at the equipment, and respond to the club's needs in St. Lucia. That's a fact. So if Obla Fusion, Bays United, by the way, the best football club in St. Lucia is from Castries South East. Bays, sit down, come together, write a proposal, drop off all the information on the sizes of the football boots, the amount of footballs that is needed. They are obligated to make a contribution to the sports organization. This gives me an opportunity to remind you all that it's the St. Lucia Labour Party that semi-professionalized football in St. Lucia. And as the Prime Minister always says, we come in.
What is the estimated time frame for completion on the land procurement project for Bele, Odsan, and Bexon?
The who?
The land procurement.
That's
What's
it?
the estimated time frame?
Thank you very much. A very good question. Okay, this month we will start to sell the lots. I was told by the land registry approximately 60% of the lands that have been surveyed has been set up straight at the land registry. So they are available. I think a lot more may be available, but we have somebody that will be working with the Commission of Crown Lands to start this selling and transacting in terms of the land.
So how is it work about saying who is qualified and who is not qualified for the land?
Okay, we had all the application. We give priority to persons who are on the land because, of course, on the hill across there, you notice that persons are living in a large part of the Odsa development includes persons who are already settled on the land. So that was rationalized. The same for Bele. Then after you take care of persons who have already been settled on the land, then you deal with other applications that you've received. So it's, you come to the office, we will do this based on a one-on-one individual, one-on-one discussion, and we will deal with that accordingly. Also, there were a list of names submitted to cabinet previously, and we have that list that will also guide the process because we do not want to disadvantage anyone who was placed on the list, even if the names were placed by the previous parliamentarian. We will assess and deal with things justly, but we will not just deny persons because we were not the ones who put their names before cabinet. Okay? And just to inform the first question that if you notice in the presentation made on the video that we invested tens of thousands of dollars for footballers in Castries South East in terms of getting gears, and any team that has put in a request before me, I've actually taken it to the Ministry of Youth and Sports or do it within my constituency development program to provide support to football teams.
This question is for the Minister of Sports. I don't think you've heard of City Foundation, Cooley Town Foundation. You're talking about Obla being the best sports club. What is that? What is that? Eh?
I said Bays.
Bays, okay, Bays.
Football club.
Yeah, why?
They won the club championship last year.
Yeah. Okay.
And let me tell you, it hurts me to say that because Moshi United, for me, is the best. So.
Okay, we're moving on. Minister Henry has already identified that we need sporting facilities for the Cooley Town community. We all use the Marigo Field. You know, you've been to the Marigo Field before you were who you are. Now, what I'm asking is, do you have anything in the pipeline for the Marigo Field? This is the only playing area that we have from that community. We have, you know, when there's football, everybody comes out, north, south, east, and west. That's the hub of football in that community. I'm not done. I want you to pay attention to me. That's okay, so my question to you is, we need seatings, we need lightings, because we play in the dark. We practice in the dark. You know? We depend on the lights from the Marigo School for our young children. I am a grassroots football coach, so this thing is close to my heart. What? I need to know what? Yes. I need to know what your plan is for that community. I know what Mr. Henry plan is for, the rest. But I need to hear from you. Thank you. Yes.
Good night. Good night, Labour people. Let me tell you, I've been sitting there enjoying the Prime Minister, and I'm there praying that nobody asks me any question, because I know the Prime Minister pick up a form there, and he haven't finished yet for the night. But my dear, I love the fact that you asked that question.
Thank you.
Because like the Prime Minister said, we come in, we just start. Because right now, because as you know, Marigo playing field falls within Castries South. So we're now completing the Cicero playing field. We've put lights, we put in seating, and we put in a changing room, and we also put in an outdoor gym. So that's finished. We've started work on the Goodlands playing field. The rains have really affected us from putting the heavy equipment. You make me put out all my secrets. What you're laughing at here? And then we're also going to start some work on the Bannan playing field, which is a small field. So we'll be doing some work on it. And then for Marigo, we're going to start doing some real and major developments. But before that, I suspect we'll have to make sure we win the next elections. So, because let me tell you, our plan is not 5 years. We have a plan short-term, medium-term, long-term. So we have a lot of things we have to do, especially in Marigo. So then the playing field in Marigo will be given special attention. But we're just finishing the Cicero, the Goodlands, and then we'll move into Marigo. I know the Prime Minister announced that the Minister will be working on 12 fields in the next, 15 in the next few months. So we're going to wait when that's completed, and then our turn will come. And trust me, you'll be proud of the Marigo playing field.
Thank you, sir. One caution. I have witnesses here.
No, caution. Let me tell you.
You're going to see more of me. Caution.
I'll tell you something. I always remember the words the Minister from Health says. You see, when we have challenges, when we have issues, we don't come out and blame people. We roll up our sleeves and we solve the problems. If we tell you we're going to work on the field, we're going to work on the field.
Thank you.
Yeah?
Good evening. I would like to put a question to the Prime Minister. Sir, I'm a retired police officer after 32 years. And throughout my 32 years, I've never heard of pensioners getting money. And I received 3 different sets of money from you, sir. I wanted to say thank you. Also, I remember at some point you said when you were giving a raise, pensioners will be getting something. Have I to look for anything this time or the other time?
You see, in St. Lucia, you can't keep a secret. You can't keep a secret. But let me tell you something. You see, on the 20th of February, pensioners will get something. Von.
You know, I would like to begin with saying basically a hearty welcome to comrades, and I feel good standing in your presence. I look around and I see strength. I also want to thank you, Mr. PM, for your prudent management of the economy and St. Lucia. But I took the line to ask this question. My question was really meant rather for the senior minister, the Minister of Infrastructure. He's not present with us tonight, but I'm sure you, Mr. Prime Minister, can answer the question. My question really is, what are your plans for the road network in St. Lucia? Of course, you would see in the daily commute what the traffic is like commuting to Grosley and even getting around Castries. And we can now see it in the relief roads or the back roads. Now, since I'm from Castries South East, I would like to come back home and ask you the question, what are your plans for the road infrastructure, the drainage infrastructure in Castries South East? And I would also like to extend an invitation to the minister, or the senior minister rather, the Minister of Infrastructure, to visit Castries South East. I want to also invite him to some specific areas, which is Sandy Fe. There are many areas you can visit. Montfortune. Badney. Well, we can see Montbello is getting some attention. We thank him for that. But Mr. Prime Minister, my five-star general, I'm sure you will be able to represent in answering that question. Thank you.
Well, thank you. The Minister of Infrastructure asked me to make an excuse for him because he can't be here this evening. But I want to mention something to the gentleman who spoke about equipment for children between the ages of 5 and 12, and just say two things. We are very concerned about children, particularly at the preschool level, early childhood education. That is why, at that level, for the first time, the government made available a grant of $2,500 for every preschool in this country that is not government owned. And we are going to increase that grant to $3,000 next year, in fact, later this year. And we also help parents, the parents you're talking about, we understand the plight. Because we don't have our head in the sky, you know, and pretend as if there are no issues in St. Lucia. We don't have our head in the sky. We help them in their semester fees. We're going to help them again next semester, January. But let me tell you something. I will, 110 schools, I will try my best, because we are about to finalize the budget. I will try my best to see if I can get I can't tell them fellas everything, you know, because I'm the Minister of Finance. I help to find the money, but they forget me. They forget I have a constituency. So yeah, you can come and show TV and this and that. Anyhow, I will make available, my good brother, in this budget, at least $1 million for equipment for schools. But you must register your club. You must register your club. If it's registered, it's better yet. And the minister will tell you how to make it available. But in this budget, you have to be reading my budget speech tonight. General Secretary, no town hall meeting again. I will make available $1 million for equipment for sports in St. Lucia. Sports equipment. The road question, sorry. We understand and we agree that the road network needs to be improved. We understand that. We are doing it incrementally. Here's what we've done. We try our best to maintain the existing roads. So we have ordered a pothole truck that should be here around May or before that. We're trying to expedite it. So we bought a pothole truck so the truck can drive around, and as soon as a hole appears, we can block it. So we're trying to maintain the roads, block the holes in the roads. But secondly, we are also investing, and you will see, and that is what they wanted to stop. Because you heard the Minister of Investment speak about the infrastructure option. You heard him speak about that. The infrastructure option was to put on the roads in St. Lucia $100 million US for the repairs of roads in St. Lucia. So they did whatever they could have done to stop it. To stop the government from spending without any debt. Without any debt. $100 million US on the road network in St. Lucia. That would have assisted us because we need about $420 million US to repair not all, but some of the roads in the primary road network in this country. So we understand the plight of drivers. We know that the roads need improvement, but we ask you to have patience with us. Because you see what's happening now. You see what's happening on Chaussee. You see what's happening in Larry Susan Dennery. You see what's happening in Larry Susan Viewfort. You see some work going on. Now, the Grocery Highway. And anytime I say that, they want to take my neck and wring it. But I'll say it again. Because when they come after me, they come after you. The Grocery Highway. We had put in place all the money to complete the Grocery Highway. When they came into government, they stopped it. And they stopped it to build less than 1 mile of road that will be one of the most expensive pieces of road in the world. Thank you. $15 million a mile to build road from the gas station to the end of Grocery. Without any plan. Without any plan. To the end, thank you. And in that, when we came to the government, we said pause. Let us see what we can do to improve more on the road apart from that little piece that would cost us $15 million a mile. So we stopped that. And right now, I can tell you that we are going to be building a new shock bridge. A new shock bridge. That shock bridge ought to have been built from since I was Minister of Infrastructure. The same way, you remember, they made a big fuss. They attacked us when we built the Bois d'Orange Bridge. They attacked us. They had commission of inquiry. They sent all the fellas to audit and re-audit and un-audit. Only to find out that we had savings in the Bois d'Orange Bridge. 2 Boucher. Now, we built a bridge in Bois d'Orange, and that bridge had 4 lanes. That's the foresight of the Labour Party. The foresight. we're looking into the future. 4 lanes. They came on TV with a picture with a Bailey Bridge. And say, look at what that costs. A bridge for $10 million. You can build a bridge for $2 million. A Bailey Bridge. That's what they want for you. A Bailey Bridge. So we have built 2 bridges on that road. 2 on the Grocery. I want to tell you, brother, how we had plans for that Grocery Highway. So we did that one, and we did one by, yes, the Bonte Bridge. Another bridge. 4 lanes again. 4 sides in the Labour Party. Look at how we're thinking. 4 lanes. You understand? Rodney Bay. So we did that. When they came, they stopped all that. And they started to build from Vorniga Station to Kilago. The most expensive piece of road in the world. And they said that would alleviate the problems in Grosley. But we'll make an announcement on the Grosley Road very shortly.
All right, let me say good night to all. Just a few. I have endless questions, but I just touch on a few of them I feel that really need to be addressed. You can see choppers fall them days, base leading South East Castries, but that's okay, we'll come back. All right. One of the things I want to touch on is the Cul-de-sac daycare center. I realize a number of the times we have people, I don't know how the structure has been operated, but I realize there's a number of times people from out of the communities having difficulties registering their children in the community daycares. And I honestly believe I've seen people coming out of everywhere to drop their children there. I think first priority should go to the children of these communities. So if you're from Bel Air and there is a preschool in Bel Air, your child's supposed to get a chance to go to that preschool in Bel Air. If you choose to take your child to a next preschool, that's your business. It's your financial burden. But the people in the community are supposed to receive first priority when it comes to them preschool. The other thing, like I said, I don't know how it operates. So the other thing is, Mr. Haley, I remember a few years ago you come to Cul-de-sac and we had a meeting concerning that beach that was built down there. And I know everything cannot be done one time, but one of the things that really affecting us in the community and surrounding is the road. It is not good at all. Because unless you don't have a 4-wheel drive, you cannot go down there. So to me, we don't need a paved road. We need something that vehicles can have easy access to. The same stuff we're removing from the roads you're going to build, just spread it down there for us, please. Okay? Yeah. I must say, Mr. Henry, I am very satisfied with your presentation of what has been done in Southeast Castries. I must say that. Yeah. Everybody knows there's no way, not even those that was there for 15 years could ever do a quarter of the amount of things that need to be done in this country. Okay? So, by saying this, I feel on behalf of my community cul-de-sac, we stay in red. Okay? We stay in red. Okay? One of the things I really touched me was our only community center and the state it was in. And from that time I saw that thing went down, I know for sure we have a serious organization coming up. And I'm very happy that this thing is down right now and we're about to build a new one, which you said I was 50% complete. I hope that maybe we can have our next, election, our next meeting in this community center. Okay? Thank you very much.
Okay, we'll take 3 questions. One, because the numbers, the 3 questions. So we have a note for Cul-de-sac Daycare Center and the road, the beach road. So Dr. Hiller will do one, and then let's have 3 questions.
All right. Good evening, everyone. I don't have a question, but I do have something to say. And I am the coach of Bays, of course, #1 club in St. Lucia at the moment. And I just want to say that over the past 2 years, we have won everything that we have played. We are Bexar Active Youth Squad, so we are from South Castries. And after winning everything, we had to travel to Curacao, and of course, with the help of the Minister of National Lotteries, we were able to do so to represent St. Lucia. We also have a grassroots program going on, and the South Castries League that the Minister has pumped over $80,000 in, that I am very sure of, to help the ball run in St. Lucia. Yes, and I am also the coach of South Castries, which is the team that just promoted to the top tier of the semi-pro. And I am saying that to say that when support is given to youth, it goes a very, very long way, because without the help of the minister, and I can tell you South Castries was the last team on island, the very last team on island. We would not win anything. I played them myself and we wouldn't win anything. But with a little support, it went a very long way. And Mr. Minister, I appreciate the support that you've given to the two football teams. And Mr. Jagozile, I heard that you have plans for our fields. I am hoping that as the top club on island, and also because we have South Castries in this district, that you can give us at least one surface, at least one, because at the moment we don't have any. So I'm hoping that you can give us at least one, so we can continue to develop, because we have a lot of youth. As you heard the gentleman say earlier, we have a lot of youth in our youth programs, a lot. We have a big district, we have a lot of children. Our district is no stranger to crime, and you know that sports is one of the main things that we use to shy away from that. I am for youth, and our minister is for youth, and we need a play. So, please.
Good night, my Prime Minister. Let me big you up. Thank you very much for what you have done for this country. You take us out of misery. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I have a question for my minister, Mr. Joachim Henry. I hear everybody talking about the community, but I'm talking about Tuapito. In Tuapito, we need a community center. Okay, we don't have a community center, and they have a lot of young boys on the streets, and to tell you the truth, I'm a martial artist. My Prime Minister, you should know that. You know me from racing from martial, right?
Yes, I.
All right. So, I need a community center in Tuapito, so I could gather the young people to teach them discipline. Because martial art is a disciplined sport. You learn to fight, but yet still you don't fight. Okay, you could defeat your opponent without touching him or without injuring him. That's how powerful a martial artist is. Okay? So, Mr. Joachim, I beg him, please, give Tuapito a community center, please. Okay? Thank you very much. Thank you.
Okay, all right, but let them answer the questions. You'll come after. I want you to give this young man a round of applause. He's been supporting that party for a long, long time. All right. So the parliamentary rep will talk about the cul-de-sac daycare center and the Tuapito Community Centre, and the Deputy Prime Minister talk about the beach road.
Yeah, that get like exams now, and I think Pierre setting me up to fail there. Okay, let me take on the last Tuapito. Yes, Tuapito deserve a lot more. A lot more. Tuapito today, we have a playground. only because Joachim Henry participated in politics. There was nothing before, only the main road. I can pledge, with the support of the Minister of Finance, we will have a community center. I'll tell you why. Because we're building a community center in cul-de-sac, and it's costing us only $1.4 million. In Bexar, there's a community center built for $10 million. They stole 12 toilets, they broke and entered, they stole 12 toilets, and they still have toilets inside of them. It has 26 toilets, 6 washrooms, and 6 urinals. Yeah? This one, if you see the size of the kitchen down there, you'd believe downstairs here, it is for a hotel. There's more kitchen cupboards downstairs than they have at Sandals. If you look at the size, you could see it's massive. This was a $5-point-something million project. And all that we need in the communities is a place like this where we can sit down and meet. So I do not see the need of building $5 million, $10 million community centers. I don't think so. So with the amount that I want, a little kakada, I know the Minister of Finance will help me so Tuapito and elsewhere can get their community center. I know. But you must be patient. You must be patient. Thing comes. The question asked about the early childhood centers, I think that point is really within the purview of the Minister of Education in terms of how children are assigned to the early childhood centers. So I'm sure you can answer that. Right?
The Prime Minister said that he was taking 3 questions. And I'm seated there thinking, you won't give one question, you see? So thank you very much for giving me an opportunity to address the gathering tonight. Let me start off by saying I am extremely pleased to be in Odsan. And as Kenton said, to be in Castries South East. And there's something magical about Castries South East. You don't know what it is like to be in opposition for a long period of time. Now, I like to stay within the things that are in my purview, what I'm responsible for. But I'll steal a little moment to say, I don't know when he will call the election. What I do know is that whether it is called on a Monday, or Wednesday, or a Tuesday, or even on a weekend, Castries South East is returning to the St. Lucia Labour Party. I am that confident. And the turnout here tonight speaks. The turnout here tonight speaks of the strength of the St. Lucia Labour Party in Castries South East. And you hear a lot of talk around the place. I'm coming to the question, you know. They didn't give me a chance to speak, so I'm just sitting a little bit. You hear talk all over the place. Tonight, when I leave here, I can go home feeling extremely confident about Castries South East for the St. Lucia Labour Party. Early childhood education is a very, very delicate and serious area of programming for the Ministry of Education. Sometimes we spend a lot of time on the 5th formers and people going to university, but we have to lay the foundation at the kindergarten or the pre-K level, the preschool level, the early childhood level. We set up early childhood centers in communities where we realize that there is a need for that particular service. So that any facility, early childhood facility in a community, it must give priority to children in the immediate catchment. So that if there is an early childhood facility in Bel Air, the children from Bel Air must be given first priority before you can enroll children from the outside.
Now, you are going to have circumstances where parents work in a particular area, and it makes sense, it is more convenient for them to enroll the child closer to the workplace than the home. And when we are faced with situations like that, the Ministry of Education has no difficulty enrolling a child from the outside. Because the ultimate thing for us is the safety and the comfort of that child. But generally speaking, an early childhood center in any community ought to be given priority to the children in the immediate catchment zone or catchment area. And I can tell you, the Honorable Minister is very passionate about his constituency. And I can also assure you that when that facility is refurbished and completed, it will be one of the best in the country. And lastly, on early childhood education, because you are not making children as the generation before did. Now, please, don't leave here tonight ekdishon di munaife ish. Ute have planned by you have Vamadisa. So do not put me on the spot. But the last point I'll make before I take my seat is that the population or the school enrollment figures have dropped considerably. And so we are having excess space at the primary schools. And in partnership with the OECS Commission, in partnership with the SSDF through the CDB, or the CDB through the SSDF, we are now establishing what we call pre-K classes at some primary schools. And priority is being given to communities where we have not been able to provide adequate early childhood opportunities. So in the coming weeks and months, and as the Deputy Prime Minister said, when you look 5, 10 years down the road, you will be finding the Ministry of Education establishing pre-K centers at existing primary schools to take the children in as early as possible, to give them a foundation for social development, physical and cognitive development, proper nutrition, and to have them in a space that can stimulate their growth and their development. Thank you very much. Before they pull my trap.
Thank you very much. We had intended to upgrade the beach facility that is found at the beach that you spoke about. Already there is probably one of the best beach facilities anywhere in St. Lucia with, you know, small goals court, volleyball court, barbecue pits. And in the ministry, we've developed a concept where we can upgrade it to be able to offer, you know, more exciting experiences on the beach, and even to use it as a tourism product as well. We are presently doing some testing of the water to ensure that, you know, all is in order before we go to the DCA for approval. Part of that project is the repair of the road. And as you know, it's quite a long road from CPG to the beach. In the interim, we thought of probably finding some monies to just put some basic material on the surface, because during the rainy season, it's really problematic to get to the beach. But of course, I think the Prime Minister would have heard, you know, your plea, and certainly when I do come to him, you know, he would, I'm sure, be willing, at least for us to just put some, you know, basic material on it. If I do take all my CDP if I have to do it myself, so. But certainly, I agree with you. It's a lovely place for St. Lucians to go and recreate, a well-established facility, and we could improve the road to allow that kind of access. Thank you very much.
Go ahead, comrade. Good night, my brothers and sisters of labor. Mr. Henry, good night. Mr. Sean, good night. My Honorable Prime Minister, Phillip J. Pierre, good night. Yes, I have a question for Mr. Henry and also Mr. Jean-Baptiste. Mr. Henry, you said the government cannot afford to assist everybody in the poverty fund. And there are some can be assisted and some cannot be assisted. Now, I want to inform you concerning that statement, because remember, somebody that is in need and could not work, or especially people to my stage, need assistance. And when the government is not assisting them, knows that it is a burden. And I think we need to look into that, because you come to assist the people of the country, and it is your people. Now, if we had a government before, and they were neglecting the people put them out, and they put you in, you have to know that they put you in for assistance. Now, we need assistance. We need assistance. Now, Mr. Shabbat.
Okay. All right.
My people, can you give me a patient hearing, please? Because somebody's problem may not be a problem. And when you do not satisfy with somebody's speech or their statement, you have to be silent and meditate on it first before you can make any statement. We need things to be fixed in this country. No matter which party are there, when they are there to serve the people of this country. Now, Mr. Jean-Baptiste and Mr. Henry, that is for you. I'm coming to Mr. Jean-Baptiste. I would like you to tell us, before we leave here, please, when are we going to receive that hospital? Because our health is a concern to the country. And even the outside world are looking at us. We need to do something and do it now, because time has been over. It has been expired from since June to now. It's time. Thank you. Good night. God bless you all. I love you all.
Good night again. I thought I had one question, but then I have a question.
Okay, listen. After that, one more question.
On early childhood. And the question is for everybody. Do you believe that the early childhood givers play one of the most important roles in your children's lives? I would believe that because I am an early childhood administrator. My problem is we take your child from 0 to 5, early stimulation. And we as early childhood caregivers get the least salary. We work with your child. We can either make your child or break your child at this tender age. Consider our salary. It's a plea. I am begging, consider our salary. I can barely survive on my salary. And I've been in that field for over 15 years. Consider the early childhood caregivers' salary. But Mr. Prime Minister, thank you for the bonus. But consider the early childhood caregivers, consider their salaries.
Okay, that's the last question.
Okay, good evening, everyone. I had to come back up again because if I did not do that, the members of my group would chastise me. We have been training on the Odsan playing field, and it has been very difficult for us to train on afternoons because most of our players work, and by the time they get here, it's already dark. But we have some lights there. We have some lights on the field that has been out of order for almost 2 years now. And we have been trying to get that issue solved. And it's not happening. So I would like to ask the district rep, what is the issue concerning the lights, and when is it possible that we could get those lights functional? And the other thing too, we need a pair of large goals, full-size football goals, because we have been using bamboos for ages here. All right, and we really need those goals in order to, all right, that's basically it.
Okay, thank you, my brother. All right, Minister of Health, and the parliamentary rep, and we will wrap up.
Thank you very much for the question. In relation to the opening of the hospital, if the comrade was referring to the St. Jude Hospital, well, we are very advanced with the rehabilitation of the St. Jude Hospital. As you know, this Prime Minister, Honorable Phillip J. Pierre, sought and worked very hard to get the funds. That is not a problem. We have the money to finish the hospital. The contractor on the hospital project, the CIE company, the contractor came out himself to give a commitment that the hospital will be finished. And very soon, we expect the hospital to be finished. We are already working with the professionals at the St. Jude Hospital and other agencies to transition the hospital from the stadium to the site at Auger. If you were referring to the OKEU Hospital, on Monday, there was an initial grant of $400,000 US to the chairman of the new board of the Owen King EU Hospital. And when the Prime Minister said we are going to build the 5th wing of the hospital, we demonstrated that we are very serious about building the 5th wing of the Owen King EU Hospital. Just before I go, I want to tell you that the old Victoria Hospital had more bed space, more beds than the new OKE Hospital because the United Workers' Party government never built the 5th wing, constructed the 5th wing of the Owen King EU Hospital. This government will construct the 5th wing of the Owen King EU Hospital. So I gave you both the St. Jude Hospital and the Owen King EU Hospital. Just to tell you also that in December, we had a phase opening of the Dr. Betty Wells Urban Polyclinic at the Victoria Hospital. And I can tell you, as a result of the opening of the Dr. Betty Wells Urban Polyclinic, we are seeing at least 75 patients a day at Dr. Betty Wells Urban Polyclinic. And I'm being told, we are still looking at the figures, but I'm being told that that move is already benefiting the emergency services at OKEU because we are being told that it looks like we have less pressure already at the Owen King E Hospital Emergency Department. So we are working very hard to build the health infrastructure, and Prime Minister told you on Friday, this Friday, and I'll take Prime Minister's words, it's not we shoulda, or we coulda, or we woulda. We will be turning the sword at Grosile to expand the Grosile Polyclinic, and there is more to come. So thank you very much, and there's a lot more to come. According to Prime Minister, we come in.
My sisters, my brothers, oh, I thought me that doing a very.
No, the lights will be addressed, but I want to inform you that the contractor who built this building damaged the lighting fixtures and ought to have repaired it. I wrote on this to Ministry of Economic Affairs, and it has not been done, including some other damage that took place on this site. So that will be looked into. The issue of having large goals, I will deal with that next week. I will get a quotation, and that will be dealt with. We will handle this forthwith. Thank you.
So my sisters, my brothers, that was a wonderful night. We are not perfect. We never said we were perfect. What we do is we work every day to improve the life of the people of St. Lucia. That is what we do. Every day, we work to improve the life of the people of St. Lucia. And that is our solemn pledge to you as a government, that our goal, our objective, is to improve the quality of life for you. We understand that there are issues. We never said it was perfect, but every day we try, and it's a matter of continuous improvement, continuously trying to improve the quality of your life. So I thank you, and I will hand over to the Minister of Ceremonies. There, we did not recognize 3 ministers in the crowd. I want to recognize them. The Minister for Gender, Dr. Poyot, the Minister for Agriculture, the Parliamentary Rep for Denby South, Comrade Prosper, and the Minister for Housing, Comrade Richard Frederick. And you know, and another minister who is here, but he have a cap on his head, I warned him about it already. I've told him he must make himself very visible, because Wayne is doing a serious job in this country. You heard about the Sovereign Wealth Fund. The Sovereign Wealth Fund. All I had to do was give Wayne the instruction, and he ran to the Sovereign Wealth Fund. So give Wayne a round of applause. And that is why Wayne, we see, why he like to be in the back like that? I can't even see him from here. So while I prepare to land, after having navigated after having navigated all the turbulence of the day, I want to recognize Alpha Baptiste in the crowd. So my brothers and sisters, thank you very much. Thank you to Southeast Castries. Thank you for Labour. Thank you to Labour. You are a great audience. Thank you.
Castries South East, let's give our Prime Minister, political leader, Honorable Phillip J. Pierre, a round of applause, our 6-star general, the shining star from the East. Thank you, Prime Minister. made it his business to be here with us this evening. We also want to give our members of cabinet a round of applause. They fielded the questions very well. Give them a round of applause. Of course, Castries South East, you were an excellent crowd. We want to invite you to our next town hall meeting. All roads will lead to Babano! All roads will lead to Babano! Babano is in the building and they are excited to welcome Castries South East and the rest of St. Lucia to the Foasaw Primary School, where we will hear from Parliamentary Representative Honorable Dr. Virginia Albert Poyot and Team Labour. Our train is coming. We also want to let you know that a national public meeting will be held on the waterfront of Ancillary. Honorable Wayne Gerard, let me tell you, I was at a meeting in Roseau, and if you think you hear Honorable Gerard already, you hear nothing yet. But I will invite you to the waterfront, Ancillary Waterfront, on Sunday, March 2nd from 4 p.m. So Tuesday, not next Tuesday, but the following Tuesday, we will be in, that's right, y'all are paying attention. We will be in Babano at Foasaw from 6:30 p.m. And then we move for a grand public meeting. Let me tell you, we have to come in full force because Ancillary is such a beautiful constituency, and that constituency, Ancillary Canaries, has so much to offer under the leadership of Honorable Wayne Gerard. We will head there on Sunday, 2nd March from 4 p.m. This has been an excellent town hall meeting. We want to thank you, the audience, those of you who were on the live. Thank you so much for tuning in to the St. Lucia Labour Party's Townhall Tuesday. It is our business to continue to remain connected and stay connected with you. We've always said in order to stay elected, we must stay connected. I'm Lisa Jawa here. Once again, thank you so much for tuning in to Townhall Tuesday. We hope that those of you who are journeying far, that you get home safely. And of course, there's lots to experience downstairs as you head down the steps. I won't say it, but I want you to experience it for yourself. Patronize, support the constituency, and we look forward and we look forward to welcoming you at our next town hall meeting in Babano. If you want to stay connected to the St. Lucia Labour Party, follow us on Facebook. We're on YouTube, but let me tell you, we're hot on TikTok. They have some things there on TikTok. If you think we're not up to the time, we're up to the time. Thank you so much, Castries South East. Thank you for staying with the St. Lucia Labour Party. Good night.